Hi, this is Stacy from Stacy Rabbit Jewelry. Today I'm here with the bead box called Harvest Hue. This is the second box from GR8BEADS. It is a fun fall themed bead box with lots of great checked glass. Today I'm going to make an acorn charm bracelet using the 4 acorns that came with the kit, as well as 5 of these beads here that look a lot like acorns. I'm also going to include the acorn charm in my design. The only other materials that you'll need are some head pins. I have some bronze ones here. In order to make this project with me, you're going to need a few tools. The first is you will need a chain nose pliers. Either a standard or a bent nose will work just fine. We are going to make some simple loops, so you will also be needing a round nose pliers. We're pretty light on tools today, so the last tool that we'll need is a flush cutter. The first thing that we're going to do is make some charms out of our beads by making some simple loops on a head pin. I'm going to show you how to do that. So start with a head pin. I personally like longer ones, but since we're just putting one bead on, any size should work. So you just put your bead onto your head pin, and you have 2 choices here. You can either use your finger or a chain nose pliers, and I'm going to just do it with a finger, is bend the wire to make a 90-degree bend. Our next step is to trim the excess wire. And I'm going to leave a little bit more than I normally would because I want to have decent sized loops. So cut that with the flush side facing in. I like to hold the tail of my wire so it doesn't end up across the room and in my foot later. And this is what you should have. I measured the little tail and it is about 1 centimeter. Our last step in making a simple loop is to come in with our round nose pliers and grab the end of the wire. And these are pretty stiff, so I kind of have to do it slowly and carefully. And you just roll that back. I always roll toward myself, but you can roll either way. If your loop is not how you would like it, or not flush, or not closed, or whatever the problem may be, you can just come in with a chain nose pliers like I did and fix that. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. So you're going to get some practice here, making some simple loops. You're going to come in and put your bead onto the wire. I put kind of the speckled side down. I'm going to keep them consistent. I can show you with a tool because sometimes the head pins are like industrial strength and they're hard to bend. So I make sure I leave a little space, especially when you're working with a glass bead in between the bead and your pliers. And just bend that with your pliers. If you're too close to the bead, you could break a glass bead. So again, leaving about 1 centimeter, cut flush cutters pointed in, and this is what you end up with. Again, our last step is to grab the very end and slowly roll back with our pliers to make a loop, and then come in with your chain nose pliers to adjust as needed. So I have 2 of the acorns and 2 of the brown. I'm going to go ahead and make 3 more of the brown and 2 more of the acorns and meet you right back here. I have finished making simple loops on all of my charms, and I have 5 of the brown and 4 of the white. Our next step is to assemble our design. So all we need to do is attach our homemade charms to our design. And if your loops are in need of being opening, you just twist that like I did. using a chain nose pliers, thread it on to the design, to the bracelet, and close that. Next, I'm going to attach one of the white acorns. So again, opening that loop slightly. And I'm going to skip a couple of spaces in between to kind of space these out on my design. So you always want to twist to open or close both jump rings or simple loops. And see there, I did not get it closed enough and it popped right off. Stinker. Let's try that again. There we go. So we have got 2 charms on our design. And we're just going to keep adding those. So next we're going to add another brown. So twisting away from me to open up the simple loop. I'm going to slide my charm onto one of the links of the bracelet and then close that loop up again. And sometimes I'll just clamp down on it at the end to work harden it. So this is where we're going. This would be a better way of showing it. So I'm going to just continue to add those and then I'll show you. As you can see, I have attached all of the charms but one to the bracelet. So I am going to go ahead and attach our last charm here. So again, I just slide it on and twist it closed. I am going to now attach this acorn charm to the jump ring that's at the end here. And when I open jump rings, I typically use 2 chain nose pliers like this. And just twist one toward me. Put the charm on. And then twist that same one away from me. And you go kind of back and forth until they line up. Thank you again for joining me as I made this acorn themed charm bracelet using the bead box Harvest Hues from GR8BEADS.